It's always a better choice. My one and only station.
DBS Radio. Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
What a very special good evening. My name is Curtis Matthew. The 25th edition of the World Creole Music Festival is just 2 hours away. 11 bands to perform on night one, an investment of over $13 million for this year's festival. In news from the region this evening, another U.S. strike in the Caribbean waters targets alleged drug-running boat. And news from the international scene, Ukraine's president urges the U.S. to expand sanctions on Russia to force it to peace talks. Details of the evening news right after this.
It's in the feeling in our we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are.
DBS News.
Welcome back to the DBS Evening News. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Claudius Lestrade, says the investment into this year's World Creole Music Festival is over $13 million. He says the World Creole Music Festival must be regarded as a pillar in Dominica's tourism development thrust.
The government of Dominica is honored to serve as the presenting sponsor of this year's festival, contributing significantly towards a $13 million budget. This is not only a financial investment, but a firm commitment to the creative economy, to job creation, entrepreneurship, and ensuring that the culture continues to be a cornerstone of national growth. Already, we are witnessing encouraging results. Higher hotel occupancy, fuller flights, and stronger regional engagement, tangible proof that this festival delivers real impact for Dominica. The World Creole Music Festival stands as a flagship event within the festival's pillar of the Ministry of Tourism, which positions culture as both a bridge and a catalyst for opportunity. Through this pillar, we connect heritage with innovation, showcase the brilliance of our people, and promote Dominica as a destination where authenticity and creativity flourishes. From Mass Dominic to Jazz and Creole, and now this historic Silver Jubilee, our festivals tell the world who we are, dynamic, proud, and forward-moving.
And that's the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Claudius Lestrade. Meanwhile, the Chief Executive Officer of Discover Dominica Authority, Marva Williams, has highlighted the growth of the World Creole Music Festival as the 25th edition of the event is set to begin in under 2 hours. Williams told a press conference with artists at Goodwill Parish Hall this morning that the participation by patrons has shown marked improvements since the inception of the event in 1997.
And I like to echo these sentiments because from 1997, a small island with about 70,000 people has been able to sustain a World Creole Festival of that magnitude of festival, that's it, without fail. So for over a quarter century, this event has grown tremendously. And I remember a few years ago, probably in 2017 or so, or 2018, we had 8,000 people across 3 nights. And then we went to 12,000 people across 3 nights, and then 25,000 people across 3 nights. And we're in the 30,000 number across 3 nights and growing tremendously. This event, having grown internationally, showcases our culture. It showcases our music, and we're known for 2 genres of music, the Cadas Calypso and of course Bouillon. and our identity as the Nature Island. The festival stands today as proof of what vision, collaboration, and the creative spirit of our people can achieve.
And that's the Chief Executive Officer of Discover Dominica Authority, Marva Williams. She says the impact of the World Creole Music Festival on the economy is extensive.
For 25 years, this event has helped define our tourism story. It has filled hotel rooms, created jobs, inspired artists, and carried our culture far beyond our shores. And when I say inspired artists, it has truly inspired our local artists because they go all out for the World Creole Music Festival. It is one of the clearest examples of how culture and tourism can work hand in hand to grow our economy and strengthen national pride. As the authority responsible for planning, organizing, and marketing this event, the Discover Dominica Authority has worked with intention and focus to ensure that the Silver Jubilee captures the scale and significance of this moment. We executed one of our most expensive, intense promotional campaigns to date, reaching audiences in more than 10 markets through a mix of television, radio, print, social media, out-of-home advertising, influencer partnerships, and underground activations.
Meantime, 11 performers will feature on night one of the event from 8 o'clock this evening.
So on night one, Friday, October 24th, today, we have Burning Flames out of Antigua. Woohoo! We have Midnight Groovers, our Calypso icons. And they will be joined by Halibut and Jill Fountain. We have New Look, Roman Virgo, Oswald, Triple K International, Steel Pulse, Massacre, and Ezra the Fun Machine. That's it. Night two, we have the Bouillon Boss, the Wet Fat Master, the Mess King, whatever he is, Esa Banton. We have the WCK Band. We have the Bouillon Assembly, which is going to be made up of a combination of Bouillon artists like Ridge, Pooders, Little Boy, Kwan, Nice, Ebony Empress, Fefi, and so much more, DJ MJ. And we have the First Serenade Band. We have Gordon Henderson. We have Ophelia Marie, and let's give it up for Gordon Henderson and Ophelia Marie. We have Linford John. We have Joey Duet Philly. We have Kess the Band. We have Spice, and of course the World Boss Vibes Cartel. And on night three, which is gonna be a spectacular close, we have Tiwa Savage. We have Bungie Garlin and Faye and Lions. We have the Ecstasy Band. We have Kassav, Mikael Henderson, Elisha Benoit, Trilogy, Nice, Rio, Shelly and the Signal Band, and Kelani. 3 unforgettable nights, one destination, one stage that unifies them all.
And that's the Chief Executive Officer of Discover Dominica Authority, Marva Williams. Well, some of the artists performing at the World Creole Music Festival commented during a press briefing at Goodwill Parish Hall this morning. Jamaican Roman Virgo, Kess the Band, Oswald of St. Martin, and the veterans Jill Fontaine and Philip Chubby Mark of the Midnight Groovers.
Well, it's my duty in this year time, my brothers and sisters, to create good music with good words, but words that is reality, that can make you see something. That's what Midnight Groovers are doing. We don't sing about anything that is not good. We're there to sing the right things.
I want to congratulate you all on 25 years. I know that it is a labor of love, and to really bring something like this together is needed, not just for Dominica, but for the entire Caribbean. You know, us celebrating each other together in one place is such a special thing for me. It's the only place I get to see my fellow artists. You know, I've had a great conversations with Burning Flames and, you know, Romain Virgo. I don't see everybody often, so it's great to have everybody here together and just have that exchange. And most of all, this is where the world meets, you know. This is a very special island, a very special place where all languages come together. And I feel like the Caribbean, we need to always work on working with each other and working together and having that unity and strength. So it's an honor and a pleasure to be here and celebrate our music, celebrate our brand of soca music, and add a flavor to the pot.
It's a pleasure to be there and to be celebrating the 24th anniversary of Dominica World Creole Festival. Dominica is going up the ladder from one stage to another. Dominica is getting into the World Creole International stage.
Dominica is one of the places not only artists can be performing on stage, but also enjoy a show while you enjoying other artists on stage. It's really something like we come, we get together, we have a good time. It was a dream for us from St. Martin, you know, coming from St. Martin with Haitian background, and this is something I always wanted to experience. So I experienced it with the group Vibe in 2019, I believe. It was 2019 before COVID. And now I'm coming back with my own band, so it is really a blessing for me, especially to see all the artists that I appreciate, you know, to link up with everybody and also to enjoy myself. So thank you for having me.
It's such a joy to be here. I don't know about anybody else, but I am super, super happy to be a part of this one. You know, celebrating 25 years. That's a very long time, you know, and it shows resilience and commitment to growth and just how proud you are of your culture, you know. So thank you for inviting us, me and my band, you know, to come and give you some reggae vibe, you know, some lovers rock vibe, you know. I can't wait to experience this entire festival. I'm gonna get to see night 2. You know, I don't have to run and go back home right away. So thank you for that as well.
Jamaican artist Romain Virgo. Earlier, you heard from Kes, Oswald of St. Martin, and the veterans Jill Fontaine and Philip Chubby Mark of the Midnight Groovers. The news continues. The Ministry of Health has raised concerns over the increase in use of alcohol and underage drinking during the festive season. Officer in charge in the Office of the Director of the National Drug Abuse Prevention Unit, Crefenia James Turney, issued a call for Dominicans and visitors alike to be responsible during the festive season.
We want to take this opportunity to remind our citizens and visitors, especially our young people, to celebrate responsibly. We continue to see the harmful effects of excessive alcohol consumption and the use of illegal substances, particularly during mass gatherings. These choices not only put individuals at risk, but also endangers the family, the community, and our nation as a whole. This season, we strongly urge everyone to avoid underage drinking. We are asking the parents and the guardians to play your part by monitoring and guiding your children. Know where they are. Also, avoid excessive alcohol use. Celebrations should not end in regret, accidents, or violence. Moderation is key. Say no to illegal drugs. One bad decision can have lifelong consequences. Practice moderation. If you choose to drink alcohol, do so responsibly.
And that's the officer in charge in the Office of the Director of the National Drug Abuse Prevention Unit, Crefenia James Turney. The WASCO is reporting that communities serving its water system, they now have access to water. These areas include Emsall, Santa Roma, Maho, Walhouse, and River Estate. Here is the Dowasco Public Relations Officer, Kimani Seja.
Dowasco is pleased to inform customers that most communities served by the WA1 system now have access to water. We're happy to see supply steadily returning to normal across the network, including to areas such as Emzal, Centeroma, Maho, and Wallhouse, and also River Estate. A few key areas, especially those at higher elevations, including Kenfield East, Upper Kingsale, Fortney, Belverol, and Bobois, which rely on the system building pressure, may still experience intermittent or low supply, or in some instances, full interruption. As our teams continue to monitor these areas closely, we sincerely thank all our customers for your patience, for your understanding, and for your cooperation during this period. We assure you that our crews have been working tirelessly to restore reliable access to everyone. If you're still experiencing issues, please reach out to our customer service numbers. You can call in Roseau 255-2900, 255-2931, up to 295-2934. If you're in the Portsmouth area, 255-2982, 255-2983. You can also contact us via WhatsApp on 275-1177 or 275-1182.
And that's the Public Relations Officer of Dowasco, Kimani Seja. Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, along with the leaders of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and St. Lucia, have pledged full support for Grenada, regardless of the decision government makes concerning the U.S. request to temporarily install radar equipment at the Maurice Bishop International Airport and deploy military assets nearby. At a joint news conference following a tour of the new Kingston port, Prime Ministers Roosevelt Skerrit, Ralph Gonsalves, and Philip J. Pierre underscored the sensitivity of the matter and the importance of respecting Grenada's sovereignty and judgment. Prime Minister Gonsalves noted Grenada's economic ties to the United States through airlines and university programs, but stressed the need to balance those realities with long-held Caribbean principles of non-intervention and peace. He added that Washington's radar proposal is reportedly linked to efforts to monitor Venezuela, and pointed out that alternatives such as maritime platforms or satellite systems could achieve similar outcomes. Gonsalves confirmed that Antigua and Barbuda has already declined a similar U.S. request and maintained that each Caribbean nation must assess its own national interests independently. Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit and St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre echoed Gonsalves' position, voicing solidarity with Grenada's government and support for his leadership ahead of St. Vincent's upcoming general elections. Meanwhile, Grenada's Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell has described the radar proposal as a technical matter requiring expert assessment and confirmed that public debate on the matter is ongoing. The news continues right after this.
It's in the feeling and how we talk. It's in the meaning and our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. 'Cause the rhythm of life is pumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep this going. Before we will go all in. Hands up in the sky. Celebrate and come let your rhythm flow.
DBS News.
In news from the region this evening, less than 24 hours after the announcement of a new counter-narcotics task force in the Caribbean, the United States struck an alleged drug vessel, killing 6 suspected narco-terrorists in the region's territorial waters. This is the 10th vessel that has been hit by U.S. forces recently, killing several individuals. The latest announcement was made by the U.S. Defense Secretary today, marking the latest operation in what U.S. President Donald Trump has labeled a counter-drug campaign in the region, particularly against Venezuela. Since September, the U.S. military has been increasing its presence in the Caribbean, including deployments of guided missile destroyers, F-35 fighter jets, a nuclear submarine, and thousands of troops. Finally, this evening, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky urged the United States to expand sanctions on Russia's oil from 2 companies to the whole sector Friday, an appeal for long-range missiles to hit back at Russia. Zelensky was in London for talks with 24 European leaders who have pledged military support to shield his country from future Russian aggression if a ceasefire stops the more than 3-year war. The meeting, hosted by British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, aimed to step up pressure on Russian President Vladimir Putin, adding momentum to recent measures that have included a new round of sanctions from the European Union and United States on Russia's vital oil and gas export earnings. It is 20 minutes after 6 o'clock. That's news. Don't go away. The sports report comes up shortly.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
At Flow, loyalty pays back. That's why we're rewarding our customers with $400 in vouchers. That's like 5 months of your mobile bill back in your pocket. Simply add mobile to your current home internet plan and claim your $400 in rewards today. Loyalty pays back. That's how we keep your rhythm flowing.
Let's begin the DBS Evening Sports Report with cricket news. The West Indies head coach, Darren Sammy, says he's really disappointed with the bowlers following their one-day international series defeat against Bangladesh. The West Indies went down by 2-1, and Sammy expressed his disappointment at West Indies spinners' inability to take advantage of the pitches. The left-arm spinner Gudakesh Moti and all-rounder Roston Chase had disappointing numbers, with even the part-time spinner Alec Athanaze returning better figures than them in the second one-day international.
Positives, probably the batting of Shehu, how he continues to put this team on his back every time a challenge is faced. You know, he as a leader puts the team on his back. I mean, I'm really disappointed in the way we've bowled. I mean, look at the ODIs we've played this year, Ireland, England, you know, even at home against Pakistan, and you come in Bangladesh and, you know, spinners should be licking their lips because that's the area where you will get to, you know, execute your plans in the most favorable conditions for you. And what we displayed over the last 3 games has been very poor. Not consistent enough. On all 3 games, we've allowed Bangladesh to score above par. I thought it was more like a 3.5 runs on over pitch. Every game, we've had to score over 4 and over. And with the bat, again, every time the challenge comes, we lie down and die, you know, except for when either Casey Kati or Shehu puts their hands up in challenging times. So, very disappointed. Bangladesh played really well, kudos to them, the conditions, but we didn't match them skill for skill with ball, bat, and in the field. So they are deserving winners.
West Indies head coach Darren Sammy, he says, however, he was pleased with the return of Akil Hussain, who came back in the one-day team after 2 years as a replacement player. Hussain picked up 6 wickets in 2 games at an average of 13.66, an economy rate of 4.10.
Sometimes just watching the series, you say sometimes it's, you know, when you're on the outside looking in and see how, you know, you want to play for West Indies. You know, massive kudos to Akil in the manner in which he came up. When I called him about, you know, being the replacement, I was only looking for the last game. And he said, Coach, you know, I get in at 2 o'clock, I'm going to be ready to play and bowl that first ball for you. So I understand the challenges that was faced, but You know, the bravery he showed, you know, and in a team where you have 3 left-arm spinners, and the guy who's been out for the last 2 years come in and outshine you, then yes, there's place for competition, you know, and that's what you want in a team. You don't want to select guys because they have nobody else to replace them. You want to select guys because they have competition, and what Akil did in this series is definitely going to challenge some of the guys who've been there playing.
West Indies head coach Darren Sammy. The 2025 CG United Super 50 Cup will take place over 11 days starting on the 19th of November. 6 regional squads will square off from Wednesday, November 19 to Saturday, the 29th November, with matches taking place at 3 venues across Trinidad: the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, Queen's Park Oval, and Sir Frank Worrell Cricket Ground. Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, Barbados Pride, Guyana Happy Eagles, Jamaica Scorpions, Leeward Island Hurricanes, and Windward Island Volcanoes will all do battle for the top prize of $100,000 US. $50,000 US will be awarded to the runners-up, while the 3rd place and 4th place teams will each take home $25,000 US. Let's head on to some football news now. The CONCACAF president and FIFA vice president Victor Montagliani has given the Glenn Etienne-led DFA a high review. The CONCACAF president is in Dominica on a 1-day visit. The president told a welcome reception last night at the Ocean Edge, the Ocean Oasis Hotel, that the DFA is one of the best associations within CONCACAF.
We all know that it's difficult to keep pushing the envelope, whether it's issues of infrastructure, resources, but you are moving the needle. When I first met Glenn, almost 10 years ago now, CONCACAF, and I'll use Glenn's words, was a mess. And we embodied and we took on a vision of one CONCACAF. But the support that this country, this federation, through your president, has given to this confederation is second to none. And so you punch way above your weight in terms of your spirit, your love of football. Obviously, there's a lot of blocking and tackling that needs to be done, and you always want to get results, but you have to participate not only in every event. You know, you're in League B with your senior men's national team. You got a really good result, by the way, in World Cup qualifying against Jamaica here. And, you know, the reality of it is your focus is where it should be. It should be on women's football, on youth football, because that's where, obviously, the seeds will be cultivated. And so I commend you for the tremendous work that you're doing.
And that's the president of CONCACAF, Victor Montagliani. Meanwhile, DFA President Glenn Etienne has welcomed the visit of the CONCACAF president.
It is therefore a joy to have you here among us at such a meaningful time in our national calendar. Your leadership at CONCACAF has been outstanding and visionary under your stewardship. Dominica has received tremendous support from developmental programs and coach education initiatives to assistance in strengthening our competition and improving our football infrastructure. You have been a true partner, one who continues to inspire us to build a football system that not only develops talent, but also contributes to national pride, unity, and community development. As we look ahead, we do so with confidence and optimism that our partnership with CONCACAF will continue to grow stronger. Together we will continue to build a football environment that uplifts our young people, unites our community, and brings joy to the entire nation.
And that's the president of the Dominica Football Association, Glenn Etienne. Finally, let's go back to some cricket news. Ken Williamson says he remains committed to playing for New Zealand and has his eye on the next one-day World Cup in 2027, but acknowledges that his life priorities have shifted as he prepares to play for his country for the first time since the Champions Trophy final in March. The 35-year-old Williamson was not considered for last week's three-match T20 International Series against England as he was recovering from an unspecified medical issue. However, he's back with the squad for the one-day leg of England's visit, which gets underway on Sunday. Williamson spent much of New Zealand's winter in England on an extended contract with 100 franchise London Spirit that included a multi-format stint with Middlesex. It is 6:30 in the middle. That's news and sports. Tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, we bring you another major news and sports bulletin on behalf of the news and sports departments and our link person, Joseph Fadul. Curtis Matthew saying good night. Joseph Fadul, it's the first day of the World Creole Music Festival, the 25th edition. It's going to be exciting. 3 nights of festivities. We wish all the patrons well, and we hope that these festivities will happen in an atmosphere of peace and love. And certainly, you've heard the police, what they have to say. You've heard them calling for peace during the festivities. And we hope the Dominicans who are here, those who have returned to Dominica, the visitors alike, we're hoping that you'll have a magnificent time in Dominica this weekend. Curtis Matthew saying good night.
At Flow, loyalty pays back. That's why we're rewarding our customers with $400 in vouchers. That's like 5 months of your mobile bill back in your pocket. Simply add mobile to your current home internet plan and claim your $400 in rewards today. Loyalty pays back. That's how we keep your rhythm flowing.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 24th day of October 2025. We begin this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Deaf Announcements on the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. We announce the death of Durrani Miriam Edwards, better known as Dora of Marigot, who resided at number 57 Mount Carmelo, Curacao. She was the mother of Edmund Russell Bonney and daughter-in-law of Wears Marigot. She will also be remembered by her 7 grandchildren, Dewana Martin George, Tamika and Linda Martin, Geraldine, Desmond, Nikki and Andy Russell Bonney, her 4 brothers, Reginald Reggie Robin, Baldwin and Jack James, and Haynes Pompey Edwards in Trinidad. Sisters, Marvelyn Ceylon Robin, Maureen and Jacqueline James, and Cynthia and Dawn Edwards. 3 sisters-in-law, Silma Robin in Canefield, Anthelia Pascal James in Marigot, and Gemma Edwards in Trinidad. Nieces, Ingrid Dennis, Brenda Lee and Dolores Augustine, Dillian Robin, Renee Edwards, Safia, Hadi, and Vilika Charles. Nephews, Gilbert, Evanson and Daryl James, Dylan and Hillsworth Robin, Christoph Telemack, Anthony Garvin and Dion Edwards. Uncle, Gifford Charles, better known as Charlo. Aunts, Daphne Robinson and Maryland, that should be Daphne Robinson in Maryland, USA, and Victoria Charles Winston of Newtown, Masuki. Close friends, Ingrid Isaac, Bernice Kane, Marilyn Isaac, La Cruz, Sylvanie Colburn, former employer Shalimar and Sister Monabel, and Dr. Chocoland. Choirs and members of Barrett Memorial Methodist Church in Curacao. Many cousins and other names too numerous to mention. A memorial service for the late Durana Miriam Edwards, better known as Dora of Marigot, who resided at number 57 Mount Carmelo, Curacao, will take place at 3 p.m. on Friday, the 31st of October 2025 at the Zion Methodist Church in Marigot. We announced the death of Augustine John Baptiste, better known as Faith or Bonnie of Bois Bellevue Delis. He died on Sunday, the 12th of October 2025. He was the husband of Matilda John Baptiste. He was the father of Heng